Welcome back to the deep dive. If you've ever found yourself just staring at the ceiling asking, why was I even born? Or feeling like, am I fundamentally lost? Even though you have a phone in your hand with all the information in the world, then you get what we're talking about today. We're going to tackle this modern meaning crisis.
It's a real paradox, isn't it?
It is. The more connected we are, the more data we have, the deeper that inner sense of emptiness can sometimes feel. We're drowning in information, but we're starving for meaning.
That's the perfect way to put it.
So today, we're taking a very deep dive into something called the Emerald Covenant. And our mission here isn't to treat it like, sci-fi or some ancient myth. We want to pull out the core logic from it, to see it as a mental model that can actually address that inner emptiness. We're looking for what you might call the universe's ultimate safety net.
Yeah, the ultimate safety net.
And it's all defined by one promise, not to leave anyone behind.
And that idea, that concept of a safety net, it's really the anchor we need, I think. When we talk about this meaning crisis, what we're really seeing is this huge gap between information and meaning.
Right.
Science is incredible. It can tell us how the universe works, how a star burns, but it has a very hard time telling you what your individual value is in all of that.
It doesn't give you the why.
Exactly. And that's where this covenant logic comes in. It's derived from a pretty dense body of work, the MCEO Voyagers material. And in that system, the covenant provides the structure. It's not just an agreement, it's like the foundation for identity itself.
Okay, so let's ground this for a second. If we strip away the cosmic side of it, why do we even have contracts in real life?
Yeah.
Why is a structure like this necessary?
Well, contracts are anchors. First, they exist to protect something important from being forgotten or, compromised, your rights, your promises. And second, they act as a stable point of reference, a guaranteed place to return to when things get messy or confusing. It's a promise you make in a moment of clarity to guide you through a moment of chaos.
And that brings us right to the mythology behind this logic. The sources say that originally we weren't what we are now. We were these conscious beings, guardians. But something catastrophic happened, an event they called the Fall of Terra. And this led to the spirit fragmenting and, maybe most importantly, the state of spiritual amnesia.
Spiritual amnesia. And that basically means we're operating without the full memory of who we are, where we came from, or even what we're capable of.
So we're like software running without its core code.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
But the most fascinating part of this whole system is its insistence that just because we forgot, it doesn't mean we were abandoned. The Emerald Covenant was established as the promise of return for every single soul that experienced that fall.
And the key phrase there is no soul left behind.
That's the one.
But let me play devil's advocate for a minute here. If these guardians or higher beings are sticking to this strict rule of non-intervention, how does that promise actually work? Isn't it just, a nice sentiment if they won't actually step in and fix things for us?
That is the absolute crucial question, and it's what the logic is all about. The promise isn't a promise of rescue. It's a promise that the door is always open.
Okay.
But you have to be the one to choose to walk through it. The hope it offers is internal. It's not external. It's a structural guarantee that no matter how lost you feel or how broken you think you are, the pathway back home is always, always there. It just depends on your choice.
So the freedom to choose is everything. But again, why the contract? If this is the way the universe works, why not just, fast track enlightenment for everyone, make it mandatory?
Because that would violate the entire point. It would be control, not growth. The logic explains itself through what you could call three primary forces that are non-negotiable for soul evolution.
Okay, what are they?
The first is freedom, free will. Any real growth has to come from a sovereign personal choice.
Right, non-intervention.
Exactly. The guardians don't intervene because forcing you to be happy or removing your suffering isn't growth, it's puppeteering. So the covenant doesn't force you, it just protects your right to choose to awaken. It keeps that option on the table, always.
Which leads right into the second force, which is repair. And the sources are very honest about this. They acknowledge that the damage is real. We see it all around us. Burnout, bitterness, people just hurting themselves. They talk about fragmentation, actual damage to our spirit, to our template.
And let's pause on that word, fragmentation. For anyone listening, we're not necessarily talking about something you can see under a microscope. It's more of a metaphor for that deep psychological split inside us.
The parts of yourself you've lost.
Or suppressed, or just cast out because they were too painful. And the covenant in this system isn't magic. It's described as a bioregenesis, a kind of a very sophisticated repair system.
So the message is,
The message is incredibly hopeful. It's saying you can be broken, but the original blueprints for how to fix yourself are perfectly intact and available to you.
and that repair process leads to the third force, the whole point of it all, return. This is what you see in almost every myth across the world. The idea that we forgot who we were and waking up is just remembering.
Yes, the covenant is the map. It's the infallible guide that leads you back to your fullest potential, back to the most whole and complete version of yourself.
Okay, so there's a logic loop here. It's freedom, the choice, that starts the engine of repair, the action, which ultimately leads to return your whole self.
That's the cosmic blueprint.
That's a powerful why, a really powerful one. All right, let's bring this down to earth. How does this cosmic guarantee help us deal with a stressful Monday morning? What does this mean in our actual everyday lives?
The translation is it's remarkably simple. The practical application of that cosmic covenant is self-integrity.
A promise to yourself.
It's taking that universal vow, no soul left behind, and making it a binding promise to yourself.
And just think about that for a second. I mean, really be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
How often have you broken your own covenant? How often have you basically abandoned yourself? Sold your own truth to make a boss happy or a family member or to fit some expectation.
Yeah.
How many times have you just put on a smile and said, I'm fine, when inside you are completely falling apart?
We all do it.
We all do it. So applying this logic is about making that vow personal. It's looking in the mirror and saying, I will not leave myself behind anymore.
And that's not just a nice affirmation. Implementing that requires real, sometimes very difficult work.
Like what?
Well, take shadow work. When a difficult emotion comes up like real anger or deep envy or sadness, the modern impulse is often to just suppress it. Or worse, to do what's called spiritual bypassing.
Right, the good vibes only trap.
Exactly. You try to jump straight to feeling good without actually dealing with the truth of what you're feeling. But if you've made a vow of non-abandonment, you can't do that.
So what do you do instead?
You have to turn towards it. You have to acknowledge it and say, okay, anger, I see you. And because I promise not to abandon any part of myself, I'm going to care for you. I'm going to understand where you're coming from. You integrate the broken piece instead of trying to silence it.
And that also demands setting really firm boundaries.
Absolutely. If you vowed not to abandon your own energy or your time or your truth, then you have to protect your space. You have to be able to say, I will not allow my energy to be drained in this situation, or I won't let anyone cross this specific line.
And the proof isn't in what you believe, it's in what you do.
The ultimate measure is making your life your evidence. It's not about posting cool quotes. It's about keeping the tiny, invisible promises you make to yourself.
Like actually going to bed on time.
Or eating the healthy food you plan to eat. Or having that one difficult conversation you've been putting off for weeks. That quiet, consistent process is what restores your internal sovereignty, your personal power. Because you become someone who keeps their word to the most important person there is.
That idea of self-sovereignty is so important. And it leads us directly to the warnings. Because when you study systems this deep, there are a few traps people can fall into that totally undermine the whole point.
Oh, yes. 3 critical ones. The first, and maybe the most common, is the promise fantasy.
Okay.
This is the belief that because there's this grand cosmic contract, the universe, or a mothership, or the guardians are just going to swoop in and solve all your problems for you while you stay completely passive.
So you just wait to be rescued.
You wait to be rescued, and if someone listening realizes they're stuck in that fantasy, the shift they have to make is towards action. The covenant guarantees the path is there, but you have to be the one to walk it.
You have to be the agent of change.
You must be. Waiting for a rescue is the opposite of sovereignty.
Okay, what's trap number 2?
Trap number 2 is the spiritual hero. This is when you develop a kind of spiritual ego, a narcissism. You start feeling chosen or enlightened or just, better than other people because you have this information.
And the fix for that one?
Stay profoundly grounded. Your first and most important job is always, always to take care of your own life first. The most effective helpers in the world are humble. They're clear. They're focused on their own foundation, not on saving the world overnight.
Right. And the third trap?
The third is the fear loop. This can happen when you dive really deep into the stories of cosmic wars and dark forces, and you just get paralyzed, overwhelmed with anxiety or paranoia. The knowledge becomes a weight, not a tool.
So if you find yourself spiraling in that fear, what's the instruction?
The instruction is simple. Stop. Stop consuming the information that's making you afraid and return to the ground.
What do you mean by ground?
Your body, your breath, your immediate commitments, your boundaries. Real wisdom, no matter where it comes from, should always lead to more stillness and more clarity, not more anxiety. If the information you're taking in doesn't empower you to face your life with more composure, it's not serving your covenant with yourself.
Okay, so we've covered the logic, the real-world application, and the pitfalls. Before we wrap, I want to leave everyone with a really concrete tool that comes right out of this logic. We're calling it the Covenant Reset Protocol. It's a simple 9-minute process to just reconnect and renew that vow to yourself. You don't need anything special, just a quiet moment. So for the first 2 minutes, from minute 0 to 2, truth. Just ground yourself. Take 6 deep breaths in for 4 seconds, out for 6. That tells your nervous system you're safe. Then just ask yourself honestly, what lie am I telling myself right now?
Just see it. No judgment.
No judgment. Just acknowledge the truth. Then from minutes 2 to 5, boundary. Choose one boundary you're going to protect today. Just one. It has to be clear and actionable, like, I will not let work erode my sleep tonight, or I will not tolerate ambiguity in this one specific conversation. Write it down. A firm, gentle sentence of self-protection.
Love that.
And finally, minutes 5 to 9, accession. Choose one small, achievable action for the next 24 hours. And it has to be small, something you know you can do. A 15-minute walk, turning off your phone 30 minutes earlier. The goal isn't to change your whole life. The goal is just to prove to your own brain, I am a person who keeps my word to myself.
And that right there is the covenant in practice. It's not abstract philosophy. It's a functional mental model that gives you stability, sovereignty, and a real reason why your personal integrity matters more than anything else.
So if this deep dive gave you the why for walking this path, get ready, because we are switching gears completely next time. In EP70, Treaty Alliance Narratives, we're moving from philosophy to high-stakes history.
We're going to be exploring the idea of interstellar politics. The sources suggest the cosmic drama isn't just about laser battles. It's really defined by contracts, alliances, betrayals, huge negotiations that span thousands of years.
And we're going to look at this really surprising idea that a lot of the history we think we know right here on Earth might be the direct result of failed cosmic negotiations. So what can we learn about diplomacy, about trust, about failure from these huge interdimensional agreements?
We're moving beyond the personal and into the vast political implications of this whole knowledge system. So prepare for the ultimate lesson in cosmic diplomacy.
Thank you for joining us on this journey today. And thank you for taking the time to renew the contract with yourself. We'll see you next time.